Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. Today we're not going to work on a tray or something. We're just going to talk about soil mix. So everyone that works with plants has his own soil mix, if you do it for bonsai or something else. What is the best soil mix? Well, there is no answer for that. I'm just going to show you some components that you can work with. One I'm not going to show you is akadama. Akadama being the Japanese clay, and why not? Well, because I don't use it, and I don't buy it because it is very expensive, and I don't think it is just useful. So this is BIMS. BIMS is a volcanic material. I'll try to zoom in. So as you see, it is it can retain water. Now it is dry, it is white, and it is very light. It weighs absolutely nothing, and so it can contain quite a lot of water. So this is interesting. Problem is, when it is dry, it is white. If you don't like the color, well, that's not something for you. This is granite, and well, you know this. It's just rocks. So it is very good to have some of this in your soil mix if you want good drainage. Of course, this will not retain any water, so you will have to well, you have to water your trees, but trees will grow very well in this. This is a mix of half pot ground and sand, and as you see, well, of course the pot ground retains some water, and it looks quite well, there's quite a lot of air in it, but the problem is when this dries out, it's like cement, and the water won't penetrate. So if you take some of this granite and you put it in it, well, you have a fairly draining mix, and it's not too bad. It's not ideal, but it's not too bad. So if this is what you have access to, it's a fair mix. But that was not the question they asked me. They asked me, what do I use? Well, I use lava. This is lava, and comes in big white bags. It costs almost nothing. It costs, I think, €6 for a bag like that. And with all my trees, well, I just use one per year, I think. So how do I make my ground mix? Well, this is just a sift I made, and this is the lava, like so. I'm gonna sift the big and the small particles, and so this is the thick lava, which I use for a base layer in the pot, and this is then the fine. Okay, so this goes in the back for the thick lava. And this is pot ground. You see, nothing fancy, just pot ground. And I just put it through the sifts to make it quite fine. And all the things that are a little too thick, like this, I just use when I make air layers. It is a really good material. Now, how do you mix this? Well, it all depends. This is the organic material. This is what will feed the tree in some way, because it will break down and release some nutrients. And the lava, of course, contains nothing of nutrition. So if you plan to add a lot of nutrition fertilizer to your tree, you can only work with the lava. So this is one part of lava, and then I have you add one of this pot ground, and you have a nice mix. If you think this is too much of organic, you can always add some more lava. If you think that this is not rich enough, you can always add some chicken manure, which you can buy, or you can just, well, mix it yourself, break it down into little pieces. Then you have a quite rich soil mix. So why is this my favorite soil mix? Well, I have organic material which will feed the tree. I have this grain of lava that contains a lot of water and has good drainage, and it has this nice brown color that reminds me of earth, and of course it contrasts nicely with the moss if you like to place moss on top of your bonsai pots. Okay, I hear you say, but I don't have lava, and I understand because it took me years to find it, but now that I have it, I'm very glad. This is something you know, I'm sure. These are little clay balls, and of course, well, they're quite thick, so they won't be useful in a bonsai pot, but you can crush them or even buy them crushed, but you cannot get them everywhere. This is extremely a light material, but it contains a whole lot of water if you water it, of course, and it can easily replace the lava, so yes, why not? If you don't like to use pot ground, this is cocoa peats. I think that's the shell of the nuts that they mix. I think it is a really great product. It will decay easily. Maybe you should sift it because it gets a little dusty. So what ground mix should you use? Well, a few things you have to think of. Your mix should be draining. It should contain some nutrition. If it can hold back some water, it's best. Especially when you work with granite, you will have to water your trees a lot. But one of the most important things is you have to have easy access on the product, and it must not be expensive. One of the things you can do with lava, for example, is reuse it. You can re-sift it. You can even bake it in your barbecue if you want. Because it was formed in a volcano, it can stand the heat of a barbecue. So it will be disinfected and everything you want for your soil mix. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.